All right, what's going on, guys? I need to adjust my camera there a minute. I thought my camera was already adjusted. All right, so how's everybody doing today? I'm glad to be back. I'm feeling a little better today. Hey, Cherish. Good morning, Cherish. My top tier Patreon is in the house. I really, really, super, really appreciate you, Tammy. I mean, did I say Tammy? Cherish. I keep getting everybody, but Cherish for supporting me in the way that you have. Also, Tammy too, because Tammy's, and then we have Miss Ebony, of course, and then we have Jermaine. So thank you guys for supporting me on Patreon. Um, the way that you guys have. So also, guys, if you have not signed up for Patreon and you're following me or whatever, and you want to uh, be able to support us or looking for a way to be able to support an artist that you're following, man, Patreon's an awesome way. We're just asking people to sign up at least for the $5 tier. You know what I mean? So it'll help us every month. I am a full time dad, 3 kids, the wife, all that kind of stuff. So I like to keep putting out content too, and my ultimate goal is to be able to just do content, without having to do all the other stuff. But I haven't made it there yet, but I'm still, just pushing toward the goal. So guys, anything helps. Thank you in advance. Also, tips are appreciated if you feel like you're learning throughout the stream. Other than that, I think Cherish has already put up all of the announcements here that we had. Let me real quick paste this here in case you guys want to do any type of tips here. Okay. Yep. Y'all excuse me, guys. I'm still getting over the cold. I'm already tested negative, but I'm still dealing with the after effects, and the cough is always the last thing to go on me. So I'm gonna try my best not to cough on the camera. Matter of fact, I might need to go get me a rag or something to cough in so I can muffle it at least if I have to cough, because then I'm gonna have to keep like doing the volume like down or whatever. All right, so matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that real quick. So give me just a sec. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I forgot I didn't have the sound on. Okay. So again, we're just practicing warming up with our hairstyles. So here I'll do some hair. I'll do another head shape for you. So again, with some hair, what I'll do is draw the square. It works with hats and everything, so it's a lot easier to start your drawing from this little box for some reason for me. And then once I get there again, I can I know where my eyes are going to go. So let's say I want my eyes to go in this box here somewhere, right? And I want my eyebrows to go here, right? So I use it to kind of plot my face out, and then whatever my nose shape would be. Let's say I wanted a long nose shape, but kind of short as far as relationship to the eyes, right? So this is something like this guy here, right? And then I can draw my mouth shape here, right? Something like that, okay? All right, now I'll come over here and put my hair shape. So watch how I do it. I'll come inside of this box here, right? And I just start adding my hair, okay? And I add my hair to the shape again. All right, let me turn my music down just a bit. All right, so then I'll go down here and I got my ear shape here, and then we'll just go ahead and add that outer shape here, come around to the chin shape, come around here. You can see how we easily created a little head shape, right? Isn't that awesome? See how simple that is? Okay. And doing this all with a number 2 pencil. So, you can, it's not about the tool, it's the artist most of the time, right? Right? Once you're taught how to think about something, it becomes a little bit easier to draw it. So again, that's another little hairdo right there. I was able to do very quickly with this technique, okay? Let's look at something maybe where we're going to the 3/4 side. So what I would do with this, if I was going sideways, I might come over here and draw my box, right? And when I draw my box, all right, I'll move it to the side here, and then I might make a side to the box and make the box almost like a 3-dimensional box. So this would be kind of the side of my box right here, okay? And then once I do that, then I'll come back here and everything else pretty much just flows the same way. I almost always now like to, when I'm using this box, I always like to start with the middle features first. It just gives me a little bit more feeling and flow and rhyme to my picture, right? Okay. I don't know what kind of shape that is. That's interesting. Okay. Something like that. Right? And then we'll just go ahead and put our hair on the box. We know this is the front of the hairdo, right? And we know this is the side. So we know all this little stuff over here is going to go to the side. Let me actually, I don't know if I need to zoom in just a little bit for you guys on YouTube. Let me see if I can just do like that. This way you can get a little bit more. Okay, there we go. All right. So I'm going to come over here. Come over here to the side, right? And draw this little piece here. And when you're practicing, just be loose with it. Okay, so all of this is pretty much the hair. All right, something like that. So all of this shape here would be hair. And I could just color it in real quick so you can see what I'm talking about there. Yeah. All right. So that's how that goes. All right. And let's see here. That's I think we pretty much warmed up now. Again, guys, this is a real easy concept to grasp. You want to learn a little bit more about it, you always are free to take a class with me. I do offer online classes. What's the name of the book I'm using, Marcelo? Tom Richmond, The Mad Art of Caricature. The Mad Art of Caricature. Okay. Now, some of the concepts and things I'm showing you as far as this box and all that, that's not in this book. But I will show you something else that I sometimes incorporate along with this. You have to excuse my book. It's a little bent up right here. But let's see if I can find it. Okay. So it's pretty much the T-shape idea. He has a very different style than me. He does a lot of extreme exaggeration type stuff. I really admire his style. I've never gotten to go to one of his workshops before, but one day I'll get to go. It's hard to move around when you got a lot of kids, man. So I don't mind sewing back into where I came from. He did teach me a lot through this book, so I don't mind promoting another artist online. It's no big deal to me. You know, you always get back what you put out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Hey, thank you so much, Marcelo. I appreciate you. I appreciate you from Italy, man. Wow. That's nice to know that I have friends on the other side. Well, I don't know. Is it on this other side of the world? It's on. Maybe it's not on the other side, but it's like right next door to us, right? Europe, right? So this concept here, I kind of combine it along with my my head shape idea. Okay, so if you look here, these are basically the cartoon skeletons. Okay, so instead of thinking of the face as a regular bony skeleton, that's kind of boring. So I think of it as a cartoon skeleton. So if I'm drawing that box, that square again, right? I'll show you how to kind of build a caricature from there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different shapes here. So what I want to do is start with my middle shape. So I might start with let's say I start with my pink shape. Okay, then I go to my purple shape. And then I go to my orange shape. And then I go to my green shape. Okay, and then I go to my yellow shape. Okay, and then I go to my blue shape. Okay, just like that. And so this way you can design, this is where your eyebrows go. And then these are where your eyes go. And then these are obviously your cheekbones. And then this is your jawline. Right? So you can make up your own, if you have your different style that you want to use or whatever. This is a quick way to be able to map your cartoon out so that you can see what you kind of want to do first. So a good practice may be to go ahead and just draw you a series of little boxes. Say, hey man, what do I want to do here? So we'll start with pink, and then we can go from pink and we can go to purple, right? And then we can go to orange, and then we can go to this will be like the cheek shape, the cheek structure right here, or the green shapes, right? And then from the green shapes, let's say we go down here and we make a different shape here. And it's just kind of like a little jawline. And then you can see here where the rest of your shapes will kind of come in at. This is why the face bends around here. And it gives you a way, again, to be able to make or to see your cartoons, you know, before you actually start drawing all these details. And it's really just a map of where you can, how you can do that, okay? Yeah, it's, let me see here. I think mine's is kind of tore up, but I'll show you the front of it here. It's this is the front of it. The Mad Art of Caricature by Tom Richmond. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few more of these, and just for, again, warm-up purposes, and then we're going to draw a few caricatures today. Just kind of go through them and see what it is we can find, right, in our picture. So we got this as a so maybe we got a long, we got a wide base here. Maybe we got a round shape down here. All right, and you can break it down. You don't have to make it so complicated. If you want to leave out the green shapes and just go right with your mouth shape, you can do that, right? Let's say, all right, something like that. And we can do like this here, right? Right. And my muscle guy. Okay. So, excuse me, guys. With this technique, you have all types of freedom to be able to do different concepts, ideas. To just work with it kind of loosely. You'll get it. If you want to take classes with me, you can take classes at rouserworld.com/classes, right? I'll be so glad when we're able to put our own book out. It's just been very hard to get all the pieces together. I've written it 2 or 3 times over, and then every time I get to the end of it, I wrote it, and then I was like, man, what? And then I learned something new, and I'm thinking maybe I could do it. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and put... You're not supposed to understand that. Why are you listening to me? All right. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to get some pictures, okay? So we're going to go to my... we're going to close this book out here. Okay, and then we're going to go here with my pad. And so on my pad, I'll just pull up faces, and then we're going to draw the faces over here. All right. Anytime you order, actually, Cherish, I got to share that link on Facebook. Let me see. I forgot to do it. Thank you so much, Cherish, for doing that. In fact, what I'll do here, let me see if I can go to, okay, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Hold a minute. Facebook. Okay. I don't know how I can. Wait, let me see. Um, okay, hold on. All right. So let's go for it, guys. Again, guys, if you are benefiting today from the stream, man, if tips are awesome, really appreciate it. If you want to tip, you can tip at um, $ Rouser World, which is our Cash App. I'll just write it here for you. I don't need to involve technology only when necessary. So $ Rouser World, and we're on. We do have a Cash App page if you want to donate toward our channel. Okay, guys. All right. So let me see here. Let's go ahead to. I like to go to Pinterest or Earth's World, either one. So I think I'll just go ahead with Pinterest today. They have really good. Um, they have really good references here. So we'll start. Let's pick an interesting reference. I don't know. Let's see here. What about this guy right here? This looks like a. Let me see. Where's my pen at? Oh, here it is. All right. So let me get a reference here of this guy here, and we'll download him, and then I like these little eye shapes right here. These are actually pretty cool. They're like anime eyes. You can use those. Let me see. I'm just trying to get 2 or 3 different references. Let's see. This one looks like a cool reference. Let's try that one as well. So this one might be cool. And then let me see. Let me put smiling references. None of these people are smiling. You know what? I'm gonna go to Earth's World from here, because the reason I'm gonna use Earth's World is because the people are actually really these pictures right here are like posed. So it's like it's nothing real about their face. It's like all makeup, and you know what I mean. It's no fun to draw those really. It's fun to catch the people in their everyday element like this. You know, let's see some ones that I haven't drawn yet. Let's see here. Let's see. Something where they're kind of looking at the camera too a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how I would draw a picture like this, right? A lot of times I get asked, how do you draw pictures without like doing the insulting thing? So it's really kind of easy. I just okay, and let's download that. So let's go ahead and go to my gallery and get those downloads over here. And we'll start with this guy here, okay? All right, so how would we draw that picture right there? Oh, thank you, thank you. Hey, what's going on, Gordon? How are you? I didn't even see you were there. Y'all excuse me. All right, so how would I draw this picture? All right, well, let's see here. I'm going to use this marker here. I got some Amazon Basics. might be able to use this Crayola. Yes, it works right there. Okay, so we'll use that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to draw my box again here and just keep it really simple. Okay. Once I have my box, I really don't need my pencil anymore because I know what's supposed to go everywhere in each box. Okay. So what I may do here, because of the way his hair is kind of hanging over the eye shape, I might just go ahead and put some hair on this box, right? You know what I'm saying? To get everything kind of going. Got like an earring shape here, right? All right, so that's how I would do my hair shape right there. Hey, what's going on today, Alfred? All right. Now, from here, I'm going to go ahead and put my brows, all right? So I might just use one straight line here. I believe in taking shortcuts whenever possible, right? That's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Sometimes you don't have to go through all the steps, all right? And then once I get there, I'm going to look at this bridge of his nose. I feel like he has a pretty moderately shaped nose. So what I may do here is I'm gonna go with this shape here and just kind of draw that one side of the nose, and then I'll just kind of connect it to the root. So the root of the nose is the space between the eyebrows. So I'm looking at how much space I have from here to my actual nose shape. Okay, just like that. And then once I have that, I'm pretty much home free. There's no way I can miss them here. I go into my eye shapes. And so with this particular drawing right here, what I might want to do here, I don't want to make his eyes super big, to be honest with you. I don't want them to seem too big. So what I'm going to do is start the eye kind of further away from my nose shape. So I want to have this one here. But then when I get over here, I'm going to move this one outward and kind of keep it right in the realm of reasonableness, right? Okay. And then I'll put my pupil shape right there, so I'll know where I want my character to look at. You get what I'm saying? And then I want this. So this is the part of the eye I'm really the most concerned with. So I want to get that in there first, okay? A lot of time, and no matter what shape you're drawing, whatever feature you're drawing, you always want to make sure you get each feature has a focal point, and you want that focal point to be expressed in your drawing. Okay, so here now we got our brow shape, right, which is the pink shape, right? We can see the green shape here, pretty darn easily. Now what I'll do here, so I'll know how far I want. I usually put like a little hook here, and this is like that little clasp in between your lip and your mouth. And then from here, we'll just kind of look at, well, what shape, what do we want to emphasize first? And generally with lip shapes, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to have your bottom lip kind of stuck out more than your top lip. So I will go ahead and form the bottom side of the top lip first, then draw the lines, and then the bottom lip, I would make that line a little bit heavier than the lines behind it, so that when I draw the lip shape here and I draw this one smaller, it gives this lip a poking out kind of an idea, right? All right, and then I just come down here, I'll add my jawline shape, right? And then I'll come over here and add my shape at the back of the neck, and then I'll just add my neck shape to that, just like so. Like it's like a little, he has like a little, rubber neck and a little Adam's apple there. Okay, and we can see his other cheekbone here, right? And pretty much, man, look at that. We're really kind of done with the picture. We can add some little lighting in the eyes if we want. But other than that, the picture came together really fast, really, and really, it's a very structured drawing. I really like the way this one came out. Okay, at that point, if you want to add any types of shading or different ideas that you have to kind of enhance your picture then you can. That's really up to each artist. At this point, you can just kind of give them the picture. It's really nothing else that you need to do. But if you want to see some shadowing, some things that I use, some technique that I use to do my shadowing, I'll go ahead and show you how I would shadow this particular picture. Now, there are different ways to shadow pictures, and that's something that I've really been wanting to explore a bit more, kind of like what makes a person's face look different ways. But I'm not going to do that for this picture. I'm just going to go ahead and just go with what I feel where I want my shadows to be, right? So I just really want an overall enhancement of the face. That's kind of how I draw caricatures, with an overall enhancement of the drawing. All right, so just by adding simple shadows in different parts of the face, I can create something that seems very complicated, but in a short amount of time for the details. That's in fact one of the compliments that I get from my when I'm at work or whatever, is that I'm able to create things that have a lot of depth in the drawing, but without without taking a lot of time. You know what I mean, to do it. And it's just little tricks that you can learn in the trade. All right, so here I'm just gonna go ahead and add some shadows to my drawing, right? So you see how quick we can do this. This is just a regular crayon here. Okay, so you don't need that much when you do your picture. You just do something like this, right? And you see our hair is done in a matter of moments. If I want to just add some more little hairs out here, I can, right? Just to, right, liven it up a little bit. All right, and then there we have it, right? So we got a pretty good picture of this gentleman. So we can go ahead at this point, and then we sign our work, right? Okay. Maybe here we can do like this, right? Every time I almost forget to do that, right? What am I doing here? You know what I'm doing? Mm, 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 I'm drawing him with his cup of coffee, right? Maybe he's having a cup of Java, right? All right, just a little something right there. Excuse me, guys. Let me. All right. So that is drawing number one. I don't know if you guys have any questions about what I just did. If you do, just go ahead and put those questions up there, right? Do the best I can to answer them. Again, guys, thanks, man. If tips are appreciated, if you are learning from the stream or whatever, and you want to tip, tips are awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to our next face. That's going to be this face here. So this is a question I get asked a lot. How do you draw a picture of somebody that has that instead of insulting them? How do you not insult a person, right, in that picture, right? So if I'm drawing her, right, there's a lot of ways that I could go with this picture, okay? But because of the decent human being that I am, I wouldn't go toward. I'm gonna look at what makes her face strong. What are her attractive features, right? And then I play toward those, and I'm gonna draw. If you'll watch as I go through this process, I'm gonna pull your eyes toward what makes her attractive to me. Okay, so watch how I do this. Okay, because remember, a cartoon is about how you perceive the person. You get what I mean? Not necessarily. Let me give you another analogy. Everybody already knows what they look like. You get what I mean? They're not trying to tell you to give them a picture of what they see every day. They want to see how other people see them. So if you draw something that makes them appear in a certain way, right? Even if it's funny to you or you feel like it'll make the people behind you laugh or, whatever, it still can. We don't understand that there's psychological like implications of things when you do things like that. So that's why I don't draw caricatures in that way. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you again what would I do here. So first things first, I will go ahead and establish, okay, my box. Okay, and this is where all her features are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. What I would do with this picture first of all is I like the relationship of her eyes to her nose. It's a very short relationship, which is actually kind of cool. All right, so this is what we'll do. We'll give her some little eyelashes, right? Eyebrows, right? Because she has kind of little eyebrows. And then what we'll do here is we're going to draw some little eyes. And we're going to really turn up the eyelashes. She has little Asian-y eyes, right? That are kind of cool, right? All right. Now she had what the relationship with that in her nose is very little. So what I want to do here is I want between my eyes and this nose shape, I want a small relationship here. Okay? So I want something that's very small. And then what I'll do here is from there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my lip shape. Okay? So I'm going to downplay. I'm going to go ahead and get the cheek structure in. Right? Okay? And then when I get down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Photoshop all of this out. So we're not going to play no games like that. Okay? This is what we're going to do. We're going to go all the way down to, let's say here. And we'll make our chin shape. But then we'll come over here and then we'll do, because she has her features, her face is big compared to her features. So we have to, some kind of way, still incorporate that into the picture, but without insulting her. This is what requires thought. It doesn't require any thought for you to make little features and then this big old head and try to jabber the hut and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do all that. What I would do is I would go over here, right? This is the pink shape, right? Then I'm gonna go to her cheek shapes, but I'm gonna go all the way out here. And I'm gonna, as I get down here, I'm gonna lessen my line down. So I'm not gonna give her too of a definite jawline, but I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do kind of the same thing. So I'm just gonna kind of fizzle some of it off. Okay? Just like that. And then when I get here, I'll kind of just rotate down into this. So I won't give her a completely connecting line, but I will give her a line and then we'll just put like her little necklace right there, okay? And then what we can do here is we can just give her some shoulders here, because this is how I see her, not how you see her. You get what I mean? I'm not trying to draw what somebody else's interpretation is. So I want her to think, hey man, you know what? This is what I see when I look at you, when I in Rouser world, this is what you would look like as a cartoon. So this is her little earrings, right? And then what we'll do here, we'll go ahead and put our little glasses in there. Let's go ahead and put those in. So we'll do something like this. And we're just going to do something like this here, right? And then we'll come down here. And we'll use like a little thin line shape here for the glasses. Okay, so now what we're going to do, you see her head kind of slopes back a little bit on this edge over here. Okay, so I'm going to slope it back just a little bit using my box as my, you get what I'm saying? So my box is telling me that I slope back because I cut piece of the box off. Then I'm going to go straight up to her hairline a little bit. Also, I'm going to make this shape up here smaller than the chin shape. This way, I still keep that balance because she does have a pear type of a shaped head. So I'm still keeping that balance there, right? So I'm going to do this. I'll come around here. And then I'll just go into my glasses shape, okay? So from here, now all I have to do is just put her a little curly. She has cool curly hair, right? So we'll just do something like this. Okay. And then something like this. And then she has some, look like she got on shades at the same time as her glasses. It always intrigues me when people have that, but okay. So what I'm going to do here is draw this first. Make my arm and my glasses come down here. And then let's go ahead and draw the top portion of her hair. Right? You see that? All right, so now we'll come over here and we'll come out. Okay? To her drawing, right? And then we can add some little eyelashes here, which would make it kind of funny. Because you could just basically not even see her eyes in this picture. So that's what I would, play toward. Okay. Now, once I get there, maybe I might just throw some small dimples in, a little hint of the green shape on the side here. Okay. All right. So we're pretty much done with that. Now what we can do here is this shape around her mouth. You see how she has a lot of cheeks in this area? So what I would want to do here, I might round this shape off just a little bit more, right? But not too much, right? Okay. And pretty much this is how I would leave it. Now, I'd erase my little square, right? All right. And then I'll come back and, excuse me, I'll go ahead and draw my nose shape here and kind of shade in things to add more depth to the cheeks, right? See how this is a dried gray marker. So if I'm doing black and white, man, these are really awesome. And I use my colors pretty much the same way. It's not a, once you understand, how light acts upon things, it gets kind of easy to understand what it is that you're doing when you do this, right? Let's go ahead and add some lipstick here, right? So let's do this here, right? She's getting ready to be I always think of, she's getting ready to do a photo shoot, a modeling shoot, whatever. What can I do to make her feel confident when she goes to that modeling shoot? Right about her face, not what makes her negative. Okay, you see? Easily done. And then we'll come back and then we'll use our crayon here. Okay, and we'll do some hair. So we'll be like, go ahead, sit in that chair, girl. I got you. My name is Harry. I do your hair, right? You know what I mean? So we'll just put some curls in there, right? So what? She's at the fair that day, right? What can we do to make our person look really cool when they get out of the chair? They say, "Oh, that's cute. I like it." They don't feel like you just, Are you trying to give them a memory or a nightmare? Is what I'm trying to say, right? I personally believe a lot of artists do that just for the views. I don't think that they, oh, well, it's just the way that's it. No, yeah. Somebody, I wouldn't, no. I don't believe it. All right, so that is how I would draw this picture here. Just add some little, right? Okay. And I guess we can leave the glasses. We can leave those shades that color. All right, those are her little shades up there. Okay. And we'll just do like a little, look. right? And then there she is. She's at the fair, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll just sign our word. Okay. All right. So, mm-mm-mm. So that's how it works out, guys. All right. So let's go ahead, guys, and we will. Okay. All right. So let's go to our next drawing. So this is drawing number 2. All right. And again, we discovered, how would we draw her picture if we didn't want to be insulting about the picture? You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So let's go to our next picture here. All right. And this is our next drawing. So let's see how would I approach this picture right here. Now with her, if I'm looking at what really makes her attractive, it's just she has a multi-dimensional attractiveness in her face. So it's like, but the thing is that you can't make everything attract. You can't make everything like stand out in the picture, because sometimes, and I think that's a big mistake too to make when you're doing your drawings, is when you do too much. You put everything is exaggerated. The feet are exaggerated. The hands are exaggerated. Everything is competing for attention in the picture. You know what I mean? The background is competing with the face, so you're so lost in the theme of the picture that you can't, you can't appreciate the face. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're gonna draw a complicated or not complicated, if you want the attention to be on the face, right? Then you don't. You might want to go not so dynamic in the background. You get what I'm saying? So that's just my particular way of approaching it. Like I said, every artist does it their own way. So let's go ahead and attempt to draw this picture here, which reminds me, I need to get back at Marlo, gentleman I met through my brother, about his picture. He wants me to draw his dog. I forgot about that. All right, let's keep track of that time. It is 10:21. All right, so let's go ahead and do this picture here. Again, guys, tips are appreciated, man. If you guys want to tip, you can tip at $Rouser World. That is our Cash App page. If you wish to tip, here is that information here for you. Cash App $Rouser World. Okay. All right. So let's see here. What's going on with this picture? Well, again, what we want to do is I want to establish my eyebrow line here. So she has pretty high up eyebrows. I might just go up here, and sometimes I'll dislevel the eyebrows a little bit to give you a picture a little bit more emotion in the eyebrows. You know what I mean? And then let me see here. She has a moderate size. She has a moderately size nose shape, I think, like in relation to the eyes. So what I would want to do here, I'm gonna go ahead and she doesn't have a lot of makeup on, so I don't want to do a huge makeup. I want to do something where the shape of the top is really light, like this. See how I really control that line right there, and then I control this line here. Excuse me. So why I'm doing that is so that I can get all the attention. Remember, each feature has 3 dimensions to it. Okay, and only one of those dimensions can rule that feature. You get what I mean? So in this one, the eyes, the dimension that I want, are really I want the lightness and the subtleness of the eye to be the one of those dimensions, the most powerful dimension. And then the next powerful dimension of the eye, I want to be the pupil, because that is such a she has piercing, like, kind of dark pupils. So we got the lightness of the eye by using light lines all the way through our drawing, all of a sudden to be interrupted by this bam, by these dark pupils looking in directions. And then you got everything else again is just playing very subtly into the picture. Now what makes it cool is that she's going to have eyelashes, right? But not so much, okay? We want to just do just a little bit of eyelash on the end. Bam, watch here. Just 2 or 3 of them. Okay? And then what we want also here, I'm noticing, is the heaviness over the top of the eye. So I would want a shape where I would do like a little bit. And again, I don't want too much to take away from what I've already established. Okay? So you see here, I've described to you exactly what it is I'm thinking as I'm drawing that feature, right? Okay? The subtleness of the eye and what I want to be. Now we're going to go to our next shape, and I'm going to basically look at the root of her nose and say, well, what distance is it from here to here? Well, it's not a very big distance right there. That's actually, I would consider that really kind of a shorter shape, right? So or medium, so what I would do here is I would definitely want to go with some roundness here, but again, I want this to be subtle because her whole face is very subtle. So I really want to control all of my line weight in this picture, right? This is what makes her face look like hers. It's not just about drawing the features correctly. It's about the correct line weight that you use to draw that attention. Okay? Now, we're going to go over here and we're going to put her lip shape. Now, her lips are also full but subtle at the same time. So maybe what I might do here, how do I want to draw some, do I want to draw attention to that? No, where I'm going to really get into her picture, I'm going to use her cheekbones as the major focal point of my picture, okay? So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go to the lips, right? And I'm just going to do like a little bit, because she has a monotone type of a situation here. So I'm going to give her just a little bit of a smile, almost like just a small one. Boom. And I'm going to draw her features so that they kind of funnel into her chin shape. So I'm going to go here, right? And then here. Okay? And then we're going to go here to chin shape. Okay? You see? All right. Now, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to draw the cheekbones here, okay? So this is the green shape that we talked about earlier. So watch how I do it, okay? Here we go. We want cheekbones. Coming into this shape, okay? And then over here, right, we want to have a shape coming like this around the jawline and back into the face, okay? Her other cheekbone is going to be in here, but I'm gonna use a shadowing to kind of pull that off. I can actually use a subtle line here to do that, okay? So let's back out a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and go to her ear shape, which again, we don't want too much ear here. We don't want a big shape. We don't want a small shape. We want a right around medium sized shape. Okay. Okay, so now we're just going to draw her ear shape, her earring shape here. Okay. And then what also is a cool part of her cartoon is her the length of her neck, how long it is, right? How long it appears or feels. Not how long it is, how long it feels to me is something else. She's a very slender, long, tall lady. So that's what I feel about her face. Then what I'll do is I'll go to my pink shape, which is the brow line shape, subtly. And then I'm going to add some hair. So now check this out. What I'm doing here is I'm looking at the hairline in relationship to this box. Watch how I'm doing it. So I put the middle, and then I put the side, and then I put the other side. Get it? Okay. So that when I come to the top of the drawing, now I'm going to go around the box. Okay. Now here you can see I'm going to go in toward the head. And watch how her hair is kind of short on this side over here. So it kind of comes out and then up like this. And it's really short right here in comparison, right, to this side of the drawing. So I'm looking for all those details. All right, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go back and slope down the head here. And then I'm going to come around. And I'm going to add the bottom half of the hair. Okay. So now from there, we'll go ahead and we'll look at her shoulder shape. Okay. So when I draw the shoulder shape, I kind of think of a shape like this, right? It's like almost like an eye, like it's an eye. Her like it's kind of hard to explain. Like her eye, like her neck is shooting out of an eye, like an eye beam out of an eye. That's what I'm be thinking about. I have to explain that to y'all later. That's like you're like, what are you talking about? Anyway, I can't. You can check out one of my classes. I can show you. But anyway, when I draw that shape, I can see this shape here. I can see everything better, relationship wise, right? And then I just kind of do this here, and this here, and this here, and then I just come around to the front. Okay. So she seems very long and you know, okay? And it's just tasteful. It's a tasteful picture. Okay? So here I'm going to add a little bit more eyelash out here. Just a little bit. Okay? And pretty much we have our line work down. Okay? So from here, I'll go ahead and we will erase the little box. Just like so. Okay? So look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and we're going to add some dimensions or some shadows. I'll tell you what we'll do. Watch this. We'll go over here. I'm gonna grab some you guys probably hear me rustling my pencils in the background here, so give me a sec. What colors will I need here? I'll need some light colors. I think that's all I need. What color is her eyes? Like greenish, like a lime green color, maybe a little yellow in there. Okay, so I'm going to use these colors here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I color. Okay, so I got some colored pencils here. These are all my skin tones. I like to use peaches a lot. This is like a darker peach color, like a darker variation of the peach color, right? And then we have our like that. It's like a very light brown, right, color right here, like a soft brown. That's gonna work good with her face. And then we have this green and yellow. So I could use this in relation to that, or I could use cause see how she has a greenish yellowish eye shape color. So I could literally get away with using these two pencils here, and this is going to be the green and yellow that we use for the eye shape. Okay, so we'll put those aside, and then I'm going to show you how I would use it. So what I would do first off is I would start with a light variation of pink. So I really only need these three colors here. Okay, and so this is what we're going to do. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the side of our pencil. And so when I'm coloring, I want to map out all of the places where you can see contour in the face. Okay? So let me do that. Everywhere. I don't know if you used to color when you were a kid, but a lot of people were just never taught how to color. So you gotta almost like outlining the picture first before you start coloring in all of the pictures, so it doesn't look like one flat like drawing. You know what I'm saying? So all of these spots right here, if you will, are places that I want to be emphasized in my coloring job. Like, for instance, this triangle that's on the side of her face because of how strong her cheekbones are. Right? I want that to be okay. I want to also have a little bit of shadow in the middle neck because the neck is kind of like a tube. So it's going to leave a little bit of light in the middle of that shape. All right, and then I'll come over here, and you can see here she has like a little bit of a. If you can see the reference real good, she has a little bit of a bulge on the side of the mouth right there. Actually, I'm gonna leave that out. Let me back up off that, so it's not so powerful. I don't really need it. No big deal. I'll just make it more subtle. Okay. Now we're gonna do our lip shapes here. So we're just gonna color in the lips just a little bit for right now. Just give it a basic layer. Okay. All right, so I think that's kind of what I want as far as what I want to be emphasized in the picture. Okay. Now, hey, Miss Ebony, how are you today? What's going on? How are you? All right, guys, and thanks for coming out today to the stream. Really appreciate you. All right. Again, guys, if you feel like you're benefiting from the art lessons today, this is my full-time job to teach art online, and so I'd appreciate it. Tips. If you guys want to tip, you can tip at Cash App, $Rouser World, or you can just do Super Sticker or Super Chat, or if you're on Facebook, stars would be awesome. You guys hit the star button, and that's a way that you can give stars to us to help us to, be in front of the camera more, right? All right, so pretty much I'm done with my first aspect of my caricature coloring job. Okay, as you can see, everything now looks like lighting on the face. Now what I want to do once I've outlined it is I want to kill the gap between my what I want to be dominant in my coloring job. I'm going to kill the gap a little bit, not all the way. So how do you kill the gap? Well, you just pretty much use a light color all the way over the whole picture, and then as you see me do this, you'll see the gap not so dominantly in the drawing. Okay, so I kind of start in the middle, and then I work backwards, and then I go forwards. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but yes. And then it also, if I need to make any adjustments on the fly, I can also do that. And you'll be always doing that when you do caricatures. Okay, so pretty much I feel like that's pretty satisfactory for this demonstration, right? We're not trying to create the next masterpiece. Let me erase this line down here I had left. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're going to go to this pink color. Okay. And this is a much darker pink, and I'm gonna use this from the side. Okay. I almost never use my pencils straight up because there's no really need to. In fact, it makes your coloring take 10 times longer when you color like that. So notice how I hold my pencils between my fingers like from a sideways point. So I'm always coloring like this way. All right. And then we'll just come up here and we'll add some shadow here. Okay, see how those lips just kind of came out toward us. Now watch this. As I add this, I'm gonna use this same pink, right? And I'm gonna enhance some parts of the picture that I want to enhance. Just over the eyes here, underneath these shapes here, right? And then over here, I'm going to mix this in with this shape over here, that triangle shape that we saw, right? And then just maybe on the cheeks a little bit. I'm not going to do it too much, all right? Now, I think that's plenty enough. We don't really need a whole great deal of this color here, because now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our this really soft brown color. Okay, all right, so the soft brown color is really just to add over the top at the last minute. So watch how now it just kind of combines those two colors together. It's such a soft brown color that is not too intrusive, and it adds a little bit of brown to the face. So in other words, you don't have to color everything in. You don't have to use brown all over the face for it to look or feel like there's some brown in the face. You know, you can use it in spots, and it's an anomaly of sorts, but that's just how it works. Kind of think of it like one bad apple ruins it for a bunch, right? You can see, you know, when people tend to focus on there's one negative thing can make you focus on it. One positive thing and a bunch of negative things can make you focus on that positive thing too. You get what I'm saying? Like, whoa, look at that person over there helping an old lady across the street while everything's breaking loose in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how that works. All right, now, once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and just add some more brown to this side of the nose and underneath the nose just to make it look, okay. And again, no matter how hard I press with this, it ain't going to do too much. It's not going to do too much more than I want it to. It's going to keep the drawing soft. All right. Excuse me. So where are we at now? We are at the eyes. So what I would do here with the eyes is I would come back and I would lay down my green. Okay, again, kind of from the side, just color the eye in a little bit green, just a light layer of it. You don't have to go hard with this. Okay, and then I'll come back and you'll see here that we'll add some yellow to the green. And it creates a really nice, like, pretty eye color. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Now let me see here. Where we at? We will go. We have brown hair, so we could do the hair. I have some brown pencils over here. Let me see. I guess I could. These are some big ones that I have. This is like a honey brown. Let me see. So what I'll do here, I'm gonna go ahead and color this in, color that in. Right, and then our hair is kind of really more, well, in this picture it's a lot of black. So this is what we'll do. I'm going to use this this marker here. This is my monster marker, right? Okay, and then I'll just use this because it's not too powerful and it's kind of dried out. So you can do all kind of cool stuff with it. And I think pretty much we don't really need to do. We got some orange here, I guess, for her jacket. So I want to just kind of give it a little bit of orange in there. All right. So pretty much that's what I would do to this drawing. I am done. It's an easy way to be able to color. Just keep your colors simple. If you want to add some messy hairs to it, you can with this marker here. Like a detail I can add sometimes to the end of my drawings. See? Like that. Alright, so there you have it. Real quick little drawing of the young lady here. Okay? Alright, so we done 3 drawings today. I'm not going to overdraw for you guys today. Let me see, it's what time is it? 10:45, 9:30, 10:30. So I want to give myself enough time definitely for the word of the day. So I'm not going to do any more caricatures like as far as whole drawings. uh, I might just practice a few concepts, just a little bit, and then after that we'll go ahead and do our word of the day. So we got maybe about 5 more minutes of drawing. So I think for that last 5 minutes of drawing, I'm going to kind of go back to what I was doing in the beginning, which was just kind of practicing putting my different hair shapes on boxes. So I'm going to go to, let me see if I can find that. Did I have a, oh, here it is here. So here you'll see I have some hairdos. So I'm just going to kind of practice doing some little head shapes, and I'm going to do these mostly in pencil. So you can watch me practice these if you wish. So I'm just going to start with, I don't know, let's see here. Maybe I can try this hairdo here. Excuse me one sec. Hold on one sec, guys. All right, let me see here. So I'm trying this one right here. I'm always practicing this concept. It's because It's like the basis of, this is how you draw really fast caricatures. If you ever learn, if you learn this particular way to do it, it's pretty powerful. Let me see here. Let me see. I'm gonna use this one right here. So let me see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mm-hmm. And this is my daily, or my some of my daily practice routine. Excuse me. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. All right. So hold on one sec here. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm going to. All right. Do. All right, hold on. All right. All right, so these are the last ones that I'm doing. Just again, I'm going to do about 4 or 5 more. This is again a way that you can practice just your upper head shape. You know what I mean? Like, how do I draw my hair on my caricature type of thing? Okay. So I'm going to do this one here. So again, I'll start with little box here like that. Then I'll just do a little bit of I'll do the hairline inside. Well, this is my, I put a crosshair in the box. And then I'll put like a little line here, come around, and I'll just make my hair fit again on that box. Okay, so a good way to practice is just using silhouettes. You know what I mean? Here again. Okay, and we come over here, and we got another head shape there, so we can do like this. Come down here. That reminds me of some curtains. Something like that. Okay. And then you got whatever your chin shape is here. And you can see your neck shape coming out here. Okay. Let's see. We got room for one more maybe. Let me see. Now that afro might be too big. What about this one? It looks kind of crazy. It looks like a leaf or something. I don't know, going across somebody's head. So I'll do this right here. Yeah. So that one came out pretty easy, and you can just change up the jawline, like for however you want to change it up for. But yeah, learn how to. These boxes are really, really, really powerful shapes for you to use to learn to do this with. So just go to the internet, download silhouettes, and then they'll teach you kind of how you can use these shapes to your advantage. All right, so let me see here. Looks like it's about 10:56. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get ready for our word of the day. So if you guys want to stick around for our word of the day, you can. Um, if you don't, well, I guess I'll see you guys next time on that thing. We did 3 drawings today, so we did. I think we started out with this gentleman here. These were from Earth's World, and then we went to her drawing, and we did her more like a beautification process to show you how not to be insulting based off of the reference that you get. And then we did our color picture, which is this color picture right here. That was our last one. Okay, so all right, guys, let's go ahead and I'm gonna take a brief intermission. Get out my devotional so that I can share that devotional with you, and we can learn something together from that too as well. All right, guys, be right back. All right, guys. So, welcome back to the stream. We're going to go ahead and be closing out the stream, but we're going to close out with a little bit of devotional time. So, I'm going to share a quick devotional with you guys, and then from there, we'll go ahead and get you guys out of here so that you can do your what you need to do for your Saturday. Okay. So, this is where the Lord has led my study today. It's we're going to be going to the book of Corinthians, and then I'm going to share this with you in my devotional time. This is not me again teaching you how to live your life. I don't get on here and start pointing fingers at anybody about anything. You want to learn what made me better at drawing? Well, I'll show you books that I read to make me better at drawing. You want to, then my life is different, and I went through problems in my life. I went through. You guys have already been here, known me long enough to know that I wasn't always like this polished dude, and I'm still not super polished. I still struggle with things just like everybody else, but I have noticed that when I applied the scripture to my life, that things changed for the better for me. I don't have to. I'm not a alcoholic anymore. I'm not a drug addict anymore. I don't think about going around I don't go around thinking only of myself anymore. Just all types of things. I feel like I've advanced as a person. I'm definitely a better husband, better father, because of the things that I've learned from the scripture. So there were so many good things that came from it, and so this is what, no matter what nobody tells me about, like what they read 30 years ago, or the history of this or the history of that. I don't get into all that stuff right there, because generally, if you don't want to believe something, you'll find a reason not to believe it. It doesn't matter whether the facts are sitting right in front of your face. You'll find a way not to believe if you don't want to believe. That's just the bottom line. If you want to do whatever you want, you're going to find a reason or some kind of something to tell you, even if it's other people. In fact, in scripture, it says that, that we search for whatever our itching ears want to be hear. This is what we will search for. So I can remember one time I wanted to justify to myself that just because I was drinking, that it wouldn't shorten my life. I was looking for ways for people. I literally searched online people that lived a long time that were drunk alcoholics, and I was like, what the hell? Now that I think back at that search that I made, I was sitting here trying to justify what I was doing. You get what I'm saying? And if I would have found one person that lived that long, right, or one person that did this, then it would have been like, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? So that's why I I I like the Word of God, because it doesn't change. It's not like I'm going to come in here tomorrow and read something different than what I read yesterday. That God's going to say something He didn't already. That this is just the way it is. And I think that as people, that's what we don't like. We don't like when we read something, right, or when something is set in stone. We always say, "Oh, but there's a better way," or if our emotions are not on point that day, then we start thinking, uh, well, I don't whatever you feel like is going to dictate, so therefore that scripture, you can read something, right? You can read and hear about, it says here, but because there is so much sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman should have her own husband. Now, that's just something I just picked out randomly. I don't like that, because I don't need no husband, or I don't need no wife, or I don't, you know what I mean? It's better for me to just sleep around and have friends with benefit situations, because this is just the way that I feel about it, because somebody hurt me or whatever. And it's usually all of our behavior goes back to something, in our past, something that happened to us, where not even, it don't even have to be a bad thing that happened to us. It's just that we are products of, unless somebody changes our trajectory, we stay on a trajectory. So we could learn like one thing, and that one thing can forever ruin our life. Like, I can remember, I shared my story about one time being a pornography addict, and I was just like always wanting to look at all day, all day. I would sit there and just look at, and so. But how did it start? Like I didn't know about pornography when I was born. I didn't know about any of that. You know, when I learned, I was at a relative's house, and one day I snuck me and my little brother snuck in their room, and when we snuck in the room, and we was looking around, we came upon some tapes, and we put them in the VCR. And when we saw them, we were both sitting there like, right, what is this? And we couldn't the what it made us feel and all that. It forever ever changed the way that I saw, um, you know, sex or women. Women went from that's just a girl to no, that's a girl. That's like that's what I saw in this film, and that's what I'm supposed to do, right? All and then nobody corrected that pattern, so I stayed in this flight path for years, and then you mix that with other things that you get, and you just got this big conundrum of problems that happen. So again, we're just the word of God doesn't change. It stays the same for that reason, because it's an anchor for me to stay on the right path, or when I get off of the path, that this is that somebody that says to me, wait a minute, you're doing something wrong and you need to hold up a minute. Well, what about what I feel today? I'm angry today, or this is just how I see the world, because that's so restrictive to me to not be able to do whatever the hell I want whenever I want to. That's too restrictive for me. If I can't step on whoever I want to step on, there's no rules. I saw a story the other day. A lady, these people went into I can't remember what store it is, but it was a grocery store. It was a community grocery store. So these people from the neighborhood, these people from local people owned the grocery store. Everybody used to go there to get their groceries or whatever. These people all decided to break into the store and steal everything in these people's store, in the grocery store, right? And none of them cared about anything but themselves. They didn't care the community, that the people that worked there, none of that stuff. They just didn't care. They only cared about everybody else is stealing. I'm gonna go here and get me a few dollars too. You know, we're such pack rats sometimes. And so the word of God keeps me from being a pack rat. It says here that I've been called out from amongst the world. I'm not like the world no more. So a lot of the things that I see and do and that I see going on and stuff, I straight up just can't even participate in it. I look at it and be like, you know, and I don't judge them like that. I don't judge them like as in I hate this person. But I look at the behavior and I say, man, like, what are they thinking about? I wish they would know the truth and to see the harmful effects that particular behavior. Because sometimes when we in a behavior, we can't see how like hurtful it is to other people. So we just keep doing it. So this word of the day here, or this one is called transformed by trouble. Transformed by trouble. And man, the name just kind of speaks for itself. It says we're going to go to the book of Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 4:17. It says, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Okay? It is the fire of suffering that brings forth the gold of godliness. Okay? Put it like this. God allows us to go through troubles in our life so that we can learn to be more like what he wants us to be. And sometimes we don't say, well, what is this plan that God has and what is all that? I think that sometimes I saw this movie one time that said, are we there yet? It was made by Ice Cube, and they kept saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No. And stop concerning yourself with all those problems. I hate one thing I despise when we going somewhere and my daughter says, where are we going? Does it matter? Are you going to jump out of the car? You get what I mean? So it's the same thing I look at with God. I don't ask God them type of questions. God insinuates God. That means that why should God have to come down here and explain himself to you? Who are you supposed to be where everybody got to explain everything to you? Everything got to connect. It makes sense or whatever. But it says that you can't fit God into, we can't understand God. Our brain is not even capable of contemplating something of this magnitude. It's kind of like, man, Think about it. I heard it explained the best. If God created everything, that means he's outside of everything. We're thinking about God. Some people think about God like thermodynamics applies on Earth, gravity applies on Earth, all these things apply on Earth. But none of that stuff applies to God because God is not of this world. He created this world. That means he's not in this world. He is above it. He's through it. He's around it. Everything. He's not bound by the laws of the world. So what makes sense to us is just what makes sense to us because we have very small brains capable of understanding very small things. Just think about how much stuff you don't actually know anything about. Think about every trade on the planet. Just stop right there. How many trades is it that you don't know anything about? You got to go get somebody to be a plumber for you. You got to go get a mechanic when your car breaks down. You got to go get somebody to cook your food for you. Some of y'all don't even know how to cook no food. And you talking about why God got to come down here and talk to you, and you can't even tie your shoes yet. So transformed by the trouble. Let's read this real quick. I'm gonna go over here, and this is about The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. If you guys have never heard of this book before, man, super awesome book. Recommend that you go out there and check it out. This is the part of the string where I lose a lot of viewers, okay? So I already understand a lot of you guys are going to break camp when I start talking about the word of God, but it's whatever. You're going to meet him one day, or we're going to meet him one way or the other, but you can't say nobody. He's going to keep knocking at the door of your heart to get you to transform. So God has a purpose behind every problem. He uses circumstances to develop our character. So I'm learning this too. Let's learn together, guys. All right. He depends on circumstances to make us like Jesus. Then he depends on you reading your Bible. Let me say it again. He uses circumstances to develop our character. In fact, he depends more on circumstances to make us like Jesus than he depends on you reading the Bible. Okay? He wants to put us in lives. The best way to learn something is through the experience of it all. We don't understand that we can become the best. We become the best us through interaction with people. Let me say it again. We become the best us through interaction with others. So if you're a recluse, you see the devil's game right now, how he's separating everybody. I went to the grocery store the other day. Everybody was in their own zone. Nobody would talk to each other. This is completely nuts what's going on right now. Everybody's walking around looking like they just ate a bag of Sour Patch candies all the time. Everybody's all mean to each other for no reason. This is ridiculous. People pulling out guns just because, it's going in schools and malls and stuff and just wanting to shoot a bunch of people at one time. Stuff that was never unheard of, is happening in our time. And we're not transformers. People, God, the devil's game is to separate us so that God can't use us because he blesses people through people. And if you don't like people, guess what? Ain't no blessings finna happen. This is the devil because the devil understands the Bible. He knows it backwards and forwards. He knows that if you ever to find your potential, he knows that your potential is connected to other people. This is why he make you hate them. This is why he make you use them no different than he made me. He didn't make me. He suggested to me. He tempted me into this room to watch this film, this pornography film, and then forever after that, all of the good things about a woman, I never saw it. For my whole life. Now that I'm married, I've been married for 15 years. I got 3 kids now. I'm raising 3 kids. I got 2 small sons and a daughter. But I'm a better husband because now that I understand number one, marriage was never about, just getting married is not about me. It's about what I can do. God has put me in a situation, again, right here, right, to transform me to be more like Jesus. It's not just about reading this Bible. It's about reading the Bible, but it's more about implementation of what you're reading. So I implement these things in my marriage. I talk to my wife a certain way. I talk to my children a certain way. Yes, I do discipline my children, but I discipline them in a certain way. And I don't discipline my children ever out of anger. Never, ever, ever. If I feel like I'm frustrated or whatever, I have to go back and check myself because this is how the Bible is doing it. He said he's putting me in a circumstance and he's saying, are you going to allow your emotions to make the decision today? And then I have to say no. And that's when the growth happens. The first time that I say no, that's when the trajectory starts to change. You get what I'm saying? Then the second time, then the third time, and each time you say no, it becomes easier to say no to that thing. All right, so the reason is obvious. It says you face circumstances 24 hours a day. We're always getting into different circumstances. It says Jesus warns us that we would have problems in this world. No one is immune to pain or insulated from suffering. So we're all going to go through things, and no one gets to skate through life's problems problem free. Everybody got problems. Even the richest person on the planet got a problem. You might not think so. You might think, oh, they're richer, but just think about it. Okay, if you just use your, I feel like use your brain. All right, I got a house, you got a house that's bigger than my house, or you got a car that's faster than my car. You got this. At the end of the day, what can those things do for you? At the end of the day, what really do those things do for you? Even to the rich guy, it turns into, as I heard one guy say, I have 3 Rolls Royces in my garage that I don't even drive. I didn't even know I had this car in here. You ever had a house? You know, I heard guys say I had a house so big that they would just look down the hall, but they would be like rooms they ain't never went in their house. They don't never go in those rooms. They just got a bunch of rooms in their house. And it just, you look down the hallway at night and it's like 13 bedrooms with nobody sleeping in them. 17 bathrooms. How many times can you go to the bathroom in one day? You get what I'm saying? Oh, you got a refrigerator for the food. That, so what? When you eat, you full. After that, then what? And then people, all that, now the people that's in your life, what's happening? They see you got all this. So the only thing they want to do is be around you to see what they can get out of you. So it's, what can you really do with that? It's just the illusion that more is better. That's our human tendency. Excuse me. Let's keep reading here. I don't want to keep you guys all day. Every time you solve one problem, another was waiting for it to take its place. That is life. Every time, if it's not one thing, it's another. Not all of them are big problems, but all are significant in God's growth process for you. Peter in the Bible assures us that problems are normal, saying, don't be bewildered or surprised when you go through fiery trials ahead. For this is no strange, unusual thing that is happening to you. Every single person on the planet will go through problems. Okay? Where none of us are exempt. God uses these problems to draw you closer to Him. The Bible says the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those who are crushed in spirit. Now, let me show you. When I didn't have nothing to live for, I went through a lot of my life having nothing to live for. But when I began to know the Lord and spend time with the Lord in prayer and started to implement the things that He was saying in the book and through His Spirit speaking to me, then I understood that, you know what, now He gave me something to live for. Okay? God literally gave me something to live for. All of these people, the things that He's blessed me with, I'm starting to see, oh man, how much He cares about me. He said, look, the only rules to this game is I want to bless you with things. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about there's way more ways to bless a person than money. You bless a person, I must feel like the number one way is through freedom. And what freedom is the ability to walk away from anything or anyone at any time. That you understand that everything is for a purpose. And whether you like the purpose or not ain't got nothing to do with it. How you emotionally feel about it has nothing to do with it. It is, everything has a purpose. You have a purpose. So when give you an example. My wife and my children are placed in my life, and I am here for a purpose in their life. I'm here for a reason and a season, right? And I always tell my wife, one day our reason and season will no longer exist. So I cannot attach myself to you but so much. I can't attach myself to my children but so much. In fact, I must train my children to grow up not to need me. I shall put no other God before God. That means no person, no place, no thing, no idea that I have in my head. None of that should override the word of God. But the thing is now when a problem comes across my plate, I can handle anything. I can handle it because at the end of the day, I'm going to say, man, I lost this person or I lost this. And it's going to hurt because I'm a human being. I'm not saying I'm not inhuman. That's part of being human. That's the problems and things that are going to come into our life. But at the end of the day, I can stand up and dust my clothes off and say I got work to do because I'm still alive. I made it. God allowed me. I don't know if any of y'all can relate to this, but I should have been dead a long time ago. But God allowed me to survive. I feel like I done been in 1,000 car crashes. And I just get up and my clothes be on fire a little bit and I be like, oh snap. How did I get out of that? Because God said I got something else for you to do. It ain't your time yet. But it's only when we develop these unhealthy attachments to things that we get into these mental situations that we do. It says the most profound and intimate experiences of worship will likely be in your darkest days. Listen. The most profound and intimate experiences of worship will likely be in your darkest days, when your heart is broken, when you feel abandoned, and when you're out of options, and when the pain is great and you turn to God alone. It is during suffering that we learn to pray our most authentic, heartfelt, honest to God prayers. When we're in pain, we don't have the energy. We don't have the energy for superficial prayers. It's only when we're going through something that we truly turn back to God. I can so relate to that. I can remember sitting in a jail cell waiting to figure out what my fate was. And I said, God, Lord, just don't let these people put me in here for the rest of my life. Please, God, I'm sorry. I had never prayed so hard in my life. I remember there were times that I could remember some of the darkest days of my life, but this one in particular. And I can understand that. A lot of people don't understand why dudes are getting cut. Oh, all of a sudden they found God. Well, what happened to God when they was in the world? When they was in the world, they was having it their way. They didn't need God. But now they're in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, they behind this grass. Joe Erkson notes, when life is rosy, we may slide by with knowing about Jesus, with imitating him and quoting him and speaking him. That's when life is rosy. But only in suffering will we know Jesus. Look at the life that he lived. His life was always about others. He even gave his own life, right, for others. And he didn't get this, he didn't want to do it because he asked God. He says, why is God, why have you forsaken me? Why do I have to go through this? This hurts. And God, in the short answer, said, you have to do it because of others. There's others at stake here. It's not just about you. Again, when most marriages fail, and I'm going to make sure I finish, most marriages fail, guys, because they get into a marriage or a relationship, whatever it is, and they think it's about them. But your relationship is all about your wife. If you're a husband and wife, your relationship, your marriage is all about your husband. It ain't about you. What you're supposed to bring for him. And what he's supposed to bring for you. And when you both understand what your role is, according to the scripture, you'll stay together through some hell of a times. God could have kept Joseph out of jail, kept Daniel out of the lion's den, kept Jeremiah from being tossed into a slimy pit, kept Paul from being shipwrecked 3 times, and kept the 3 Hebrew young men from being thrown into the blazing furnace, but he did not. He let those problems happen, and every one of those persons was drawn closer to God as a result. This is my story. This is my story. God could have intervened in all of the situations in my life, but had it not been for God, I'd still be a drug addict. I'd be dead. Had it not been for him allowing me to suffer the consequences of my actions. I needed. Pain is a powerful motivator. It says that. Suffering is a powerful motivator. Problems force us to look to God and depend on him instead of ourselves. So people ask, well, why, if God knows everything about everything, why doesn't he just make everybody into robots? And I say, well, what kind of loving God would that be if he just made you to be a robot? He said, look, don't stop questioning God all the time. I made you and I gave you free will. But I want you to understand, this is what God's telling us. And I'm going to give it to you straight across the table. I don't care what he does. God doesn't, look, he doesn't wish for anybody to go to hell, first of all. But he said this, I'm going to give you free will. And you can do whatever you want to do with your free will. But don't get it twisted. My plan, what I got going on, what I say is going to happen is going to happen. And you can be a part of it, or you can be eternally separated from it. You can ask all the questions you want. You can quote all the books you've read over the years about the Egyptians and who's the first man on the planet and the original man was this and that. You can quote all that stuff you want to. You can go ahead, have your way. That's your free will. But just realize when you stand in front of me, you can't say that I didn't show you that I was real. Just the mere fact that you are even alive. You got to say amen. Paul testified to this benefit. We felt we were doomed to die and saw how powerless we were to help ourselves. But that was good, for then we put everything into the hands of God, who alone could save us. I'm a caricature artist. I draw for a living. If I don't draw, right, humanly speaking, I don't make money. And I have 3 kids to take care of and a wife and all these bills and all these responsibilities I got. Okay? There are many times when it's been super slow at work and I can't see money coming from nowhere. And the human part of me wants to trip out. And then I start thinking, well, what if I go on YouTube and what if I start doing this type of stuff or that type of stuff instead of being true to using what God gave me? What if I start commenting like everybody else on all these negative situations? What if I all these different hustles I start coming up with in my mind? I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that, right? All that stuff start happening. And then it's when I go back to this scripture. I don't care if you do everything right. You can do everything right. And still, you can't get yourself out of the situation. You got to let God be God. Sometimes you got to sit back and say, okay, God, I did everything I can do. I'm going to leave this up to you now. This is what you said. I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to go, but I'm praying and I'm asking you to give me wisdom, to give me which way I'm supposed to go. Sometimes you just say, the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. That's it. You never know that God is all you need until God is all you've got. Regardless of the cause, none of your problems could happen without God's permission. Everything that happens to a child of God is Father filtered. Father filtered. That means it had to go through God first. And I know that's hard again for our human understanding, our little brains to figure out, because we want to know why everything didn't go my way. That's the only thing we care about when it comes to human beings. Why didn't it go my way? Why isn't everything the way that I see it? Could you imagine if everybody just could have everything the way they saw it? What? That's crazy. Everything that happens to a child of God is Father filtered, and he intends to use it for good, even when Satan and others meant it for bad. In other words, like I said earlier, you can do what you want with your free will, but everything's going to work out in God's favor. And that's how powerful God is. There's nothing you can do about it. You can cry. You can say it's not true. I didn't read that. That's not what that says. You can say whatever you want. Go ahead. Have fun. Because God is sovereign. Sovereignly, that means he is the only one. He is the all-powerful. He is sovereignly in control. Accidents are just incidents. Accidents are just incidents in God's plan for you. Because every day of your life was written on God's calendar before you were born. Everything that happens to you has spiritual significance. Everything. And finishing up, it says in Romans 28 through 29, we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them. For God knew his people in advance, and he has chosen them to become like his son. Everything that happens to us, again, has spiritual significance. That is the first part of this study. We're going to be keep going through this. We'll be streaming again on Tuesday, but we're going to keep talking about this transformed by trouble, and this idea that the things that happen to us in life are allowed because they're pushing us into a purpose, and our purpose is tied to us going through things. We can only learn things through difficulty. No different than studying. If you've ever been to college before, you may have studied a subject, and many nights you sat up and you studied books and you read and you wrote papers and you did all this stuff, all the pain stuff that you really didn't want to have to go through, but you went through it in order for you to learn a greater lesson, in order for you to get the diploma. Well, this is no different than that. You see, God's design is in everything if we really open our eyes to look around. So we'll continue this on next Tuesday, guys. That's our word of the day. I hope that you guys learned something from that. I certainly did, being transformed by trouble. So, guys, I want to thank you for coming out to the stream. If you guys did tip me, man, thank you for the art lessons or whatever. I truly appreciate it. If that was not you and God didn't put that on your heart, then I understand that as well. If you want to take a class with me, I do classes as well online, and all that information is at the top of your screen. I'm sure if you're really interested in doing that. One thing about human beings, we're very resourceful. Whatever we want to do, we find a way to do it, right? You know what I'm saying? So you guys be blessed. Have an awesome day, and I will see you guys next time.